Hello, world. That's my theme. That's my introduction. Welcome to the Portah House, episode 5, dating while poly. There's not much. There's not much we can say on this part, But my idea, right, of dating as a couple, my dating as a couple, right? What do you think the challenges are? A lot of people say it's very challenging dating as a couple.
You're not gonna have the same taste as your spouse.
Mm, that's facts.
That's one of the main issues.
The person coming in may not like you as much as they like the spouse too. So I mean, shit, it go both ways. It go both ways. I think dating as a couple, you guys have to come to a realization things are not gonna evolve the same. Chemistry might not be the same. You know, um, Eventually, I guess it will. We never went down the dating process, so this is gonna be an interesting show. I got two great couples, and also the beautiful Natasha. She is a single woman in the poly community. To kind of exchange information. Coming from a couple's perspective and coming from a single woman's perspective. I wish I could have gotten a single man. You know, what I mean, also to kind of get that insight. But I think this interview is going to be very, very informative. But yeah, I think the main thing. What is one thing you would say to all the people, the person coming into the relationship, and the people within the couple? Like, what would a little gemstone, a little jewel, what would you say?
For couples looking for someone to bring in, I would say y'all have to listen to each other in order to be able to make the appropriate decision for the person who fits best with your family. For the person coming in, learn each person in the relationship individually. Don't group them together.
She took my saying. You took my statement. And it's always, because I always say, you're going to relearn each other. You relearn each other. The couple's gonna relearn each other. Yeah, you've heard me say it a lot of times. She took my spiggity. That's a jewel I was gonna drop. That was a jewel I was gonna drop. So now I gotta flip it, right? Now I gotta flip it. But yes, most definitely, the couple. Remember, you're gonna relearn each other. That's facts. At the end of the day, you're gonna relearn each other because this individual coming in is gonna bring something new out of y'all, and y'all are gonna be like, I didn't know you like that. Oh, you like marshmallows with your cocoa now? I ain't know that. Why I never tried that? This person put me on. So I mean, it's just remember that, and also the challenge within the person coming in. Remember, it's going to be two individuals that they are going to learn at the same time. And a lot of times, y'all don't got y'all shit together. Y'all going to be projecting insecurities and problems onto that individual coming in. So make sure you got your shit tight and correct. But mind you, what I would drop for everybody is be transparent. Set boundaries at the beginning. Know kind of how you want to catch a flow of things, and gain the understanding of what is this? Where do we lie at with each other? Are we really trying to grow with each other? It ain't really too much to really kind of foul. That's too much at the beginning. You think so? What the fuck we doing? You marrying me? Nah, I'm playing. It ain't nothing like that. I wouldn't say rush it or nothing in that sense, but I think respect your peace. The person coming in, respect your peace, and make sure the couple have their shit together. I cannot stress that enough, because you might be the piece they feel that's gonna fix their problems, that's gonna fix their relationship, and really it's just gonna cause more damage and cause you damage in the process too. And ain't nothing worse than getting your heart broken by two people instead of one. I will say that. And for the people that are bringing somebody else in, tighten up, because at the end of the day, nothing's gonna fix your problems besides you guys. Best place to be is to be healed before you let anybody else in. But you know what? That's just our opinion. It is what it is. Who the fuck are we? We can't get shit right. I don't know. Nah, I get shit right. We get shit right. Our communication is fucking. It is. It comes with a little bit of arguments. Can't lie. But yeah, we. At the end of the day, we here though. But with that being said, man, I got no commercial for the day, so we're gonna go ahead and kick it off to the V table with some special guests in the building. Let's go ahead and bring them in. Hello, world. That's my thing. That's my introduction. And of course, on this session, on this portion, we at the V table. And today on the panel, I have some special guests with me in the building. And also I know y'all see that my co-host, Shalon Chantel, had 86 on me. I don't know. One's bald headed and the other one's stressing. I'm just playing. When they watch it, they catch up with me. With me today, also co-hosting with me, but on the side of me, because my other co-hosts are missing, is the beautiful, none other, Natasha. Go ahead, introduce yourself, because I know you got to add some splash to it.
Yeah, no, it's me, your girl. I know y'all missed me. I know you did. I missed y'all too. your favorite bartender's favorite bartender, Natasha, here to have some fun. We about to cut up. It's going up. Get ready. Buckle up. It's up.
Big facts, big facts. And also in the building with us today, we got two special couples, four special guests, two special couples. Big, they're both big and making moves on TikTok. I want to say that, but bringing both different creativity for the poly community, which I've been loving. So with that being said, go ahead, tap in, introduce yourselves, because nothing but appreciation and thanks for actually joining us today. So I'm excited to have y'all on. And we got today is
thanks for having us. My name is Sammy Lucid, and this is
I am Malia Lucid, and we're the Pursuit of Poly.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. Also, we got in the building.
Yes. I am Miss Toni Hobson. This is my husband, E. We normally go by Toni Tenderoni, and E the introvert, and we are Hobson Love.
Tenderoni.
Hey.
Toni Tenderoni. I learned something new. I had to put that in my phone now. But with that being said, right, I want to thank y'all first and foremost because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with me because I would have harassed you. I was like, what are we doing? I thought we were doing this show. But with that being said, I want to thank you guys for what y'all are doing because it takes a lot, first and foremost, for people to actually open up the doors and, put their love style out there. Because we do get judged at the end of the day when those people don't understand it. It does sometimes cause friction within friends and family, and it's a beautiful thing when you're out there still living your truth, living in your love, and showing everybody it is possible. First and foremost, let me, applaud you guys on that because you guys are doing your fucking thing. And I love it. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys on so many levels. But with that being said, I'm going to start with Sam and Malia. How long have you guys been poly?
We've been poly for almost 5 years now. We've been married for 8 years and together for 15 years. So it's, been about a third of our relationship that we've been poly now.
I love that. Toni Roney. I told y'all I'm bad at names.
Come on, ain't you a Bobby Brown fan? I know you're a Bobby Brown fan.
Hey, that's a whole other story. We're not even gonna have that discussion right now. No. But how long have you guys been poly?
We've been poly now for 2 years. Our first initial girlfriend was back in 2018, but we like to say we became poly once we became fully educated, and we're still learning. We did our research, and that's when we initially decided to be poly. We've been married for 10 years, and we've been together for 11. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. With that process, I know you just said that you seen someone. How many? I don't want to put that. I ain't gonna ask that question. How's the process of dating as a couple going for you guys? I don't know who wants to answer that first, but I know this is something big because everybody always says to say it's hard. It's hard.
It's hard. Everybody want us to be that late night booty call, but we done with that. We done with that phase.
No, but we have come across women who it's just like you never know their angle, and that's frustrating because they could be in it more so for me, or they could be in it more so for him. And it's unfortunate that you have to get to know this person to see what their intention really is, only for you to be like, it was a waste of time because you're not here for the both of us and we're trying to build and grow. You're either here for sexual purposes or you're here to try to win one of us out. And it don't work that way. We come as a team, So that part is unfortunate. So it is tough.
Shaq and Kobe over here.
Right. I feel the same as far as dating as a couple. It's hard to find somebody that is going to like both of you. I feel like that is a hard dynamic to find one person that is going to like both of us for who we are. That's been one of the things that's encountered that has been an issue.
I think that for us, as far as where we're at with dating right now, we have dating on a pretty hard pause. We have put dating on a pause like this, basically because we feel like, we have so many hopes, dreams, and aspirations for what our future relationship is going to be, that we're not really trying to jump into a bunch of casual dating anymore. We feel like we've just gone through all of that before. So we're pretty quick to know exactly what we're looking for and be aware of when the vibe is right. So yeah, we kind of just will know when that person comes into our life, I think.
I agree. Yeah.
I would like to piggyback off that. I like what she said because that's pretty much where we are with it. We know what we're looking for. That's why it's just not anybody here. And though we are on this, we are like, we have so many things that's coming out to us, you know, where it'd be easy to put the dating on hold, but for us, it's just kind of like, we're on this journey. And even though like we're doing things in different areas, we're still open to finding the right one, you know, like we don't want to so much put it on hold, because I feel like it's just so much time going by. Like if the right one come, then of course, you know, she'll be a part of us, but we're not accepting anybody, you know, if that makes sense. It's not just know anybody. We're very picky about who it's going to be, but we're not at a hold for when she's going to come. Like we're open to when she's going to come. She just has to be the right one, you know?
Especially when we have kids. We don't want to let anybody just meet our kids.
True.
You know what I think is funny is like, you know, you guys are married, you know, y'all together. So you've been out of the dating field for so long. And so now it's like, it's almost like being single again.
Thanks. We said that.
They don't understand that because they think that, you know, okay, well, we're just going to go find this perfect person. We're going to go out one night.
Right.
Go to this bar and like the lights are going to just dim and the crowd part and this woman, this man or this couple is going to come forward and say, it's me.
Right.
I am arrived. I'm the greatest thing ever. It's like, no.
Absolutely. Not going to happen.
Right. It's a lot of work. There ebbs and flows. You're going to have good times. You're going to meet people. They're going to turn out to be great. And then you see their true colors. It's like, I'm single again. Like, I feel like I'm out here single yet again. And
absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Well said. Because that's how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
you guys go, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, after you go through the initial blunders, like of dating for so many years as like a couple, you know, and you do jump back into the scene and you're like, what the F, you know, is going on in the world right now? Like, how is this how people really navigate nowadays? Because it's been quite a while for us. But I think that, you know, once you get to that point where you stop looking, that's when shit usually appears in my experience of manifestation in the world. So it's kind of like now that we've stopped looking, things are like being thrown at us, you know what I mean? And people slide in the DMs at every turn of the street. But now we're kind of just like, okay, pull back. Cause like they said, you know, we're just sure of what we're looking for. And we know when the energy is clear. So
definitely. When y'all first started dating, right? What was the emotional process? I know, like, when me and Shalom, like I said, our story. I know y'all probably know our story. Our story did not start off, you know, agreeing on everything. I fucked up. You know what I mean? It's just whatever. But you know, I know we had our emotional process. You know, even though we were open to the idea of saying, okay, we're gonna do this, there was still things we weren't prepared for. You know, and that were triggering that we never thought about that because it was just us two. What kind of experiences when y'all first went into the dating, okay, agreeing as a couple, what were some of the experiences where like, oh shit, why, well, you had to check yourself. Did I really trip that, you know, they poured 3 ice cubes but gave me 2? Like, you know, just those little things. I dealt with it. So I mean, what were kind of those experiences for you that y'all were not ready for that you could sit back and look and say, damn, I really did that?
I'll start. I guess I'm gonna go with the one that popped into my head. So we were seeing someone and we hadn't established anything yet, of course, because, you know, we're trying to see. And there was one point we had been knowing this young lady for like months in now, like we're months in and we're hanging out, spending time. And she had this episode and it caught me off guard, you know? So I'm like, okay, I just need to take a moment away. I just need some time to myself, you know? And I'm telling him this and I already told her. And he's like, you sure, babe? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I just need a moment. And he's like, okay, you know? And then he goes back into the room and I'm talking about blood boiling. I'm like, no, this mother, then just go back. Of course, he's trying to respect the fact that I said, I'm okay. I just need some time. I'm going to go take a drive. But I think when I heard that, okay, babe, and he went back in the room with her, I was just like, oh, I was just so upset. I'm like, really? I think not because she was here, but I think it was more so of, I need those extra few. You sure you're okay? Are you okay? You know, are you positive you don't need, but I didn't get none of that. And so now I'm like, oh, it's because she here. I didn't get the extra. Are you okay? Are you positive? And I was on fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, hey, I got a better story. Why don't you tell them the story about the ironing and rolling? That story is a lot better. Tell that real quick.
I was like, hold on,
Okay,
this one is a lot better.
This one is back doing with our girlfriend. Okay, dating this girl, and so what had happened? So as you know,
420 friendly.
He's 420 friendly, and I don't smoke. I'm friendly, but I don't smoke. But I always roll his stuff because while he smokes, I roll. He doesn't. I roll better. And my girlfriend was here this particular day, and he was like, "Babe, can you roll my stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I'll do it." And I was like, "He didn't ask you. He asked me, why don't you go ahead and iron his clothes, and I'll roll the stuff because he already asked me." And she goes, "Well, if he asked me to iron his clothes, I'll iron it. I'm not going to do it because you said so. If he asked me, because you're not going to tell me."
Yeah.
When I say through the roof, I'm like, "No, you're going to iron them clothes. That's what you're going to do because he asked me to do this, and that's how this is going to work." It was, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even want to smoke after that. I had to hold
you
them
didn't want
back.
to
I felt like a referee.
I got to go outside.
Yeah.
He started raking the grass, no leaves.
Now his go-to whenever a situation is awkward, how about them Lakers? It has nothing to do with this conversation. You better stay on topic. He's like, the mood is awkward. So how about them Lakers? No. But yeah, that was.
That is funny. Sam, have you guys actually dealt with any kind of experiences that you were like, dang, it was kind of triggering, just one of those moments you didn't expect?
I think for us, I'll speak for myself, but I think for the beginning of our early days of polyamorishness that we had, because I don't really think it was polyamory, it was polyamorish. But I think there was so many things. Like, we talked so much, we're over communicators. We talked so much, and we thought that we had talked out every possible scenario. And there was always a scenario that was the one that we didn't talk about, and that would always pop up, like, every time. And I guess for us, I never felt like it blew, like, we never had any moments of like awkwardness really, or like blowing up, but I think we just always took those moments as learning moments. And then I think the one thing that was probably, I had something I was gonna say. Fuck. The one thing that I was gonna say about jealousy was, sorry, not about jealousy. This was the hardest thing when it came up at the beginning. For me, being so triggered by the lack of communication, right? So I just said, like, we're over communicators. So the triggers for me was when we dated someone who was the opposite and was like an introvert, and like when something did happen, even though it wasn't necessarily a huge blowout or anything crazy, they turned inward and leaned away from from us and didn't speak and didn't communicate. And that was triggering for me because I'm such an over communicator. So I wouldn't say like the jealousy ever really blew up, but when you don't communicate, it ended up really being the demise of the relationship, because we could never talk things through. We could never, get through any bumps with that person. So
and for me, it was like on the other side when we first started. I feel like as a guy, like people don't really talk about this, but for me, like there was a lot of relationships where it was like, okay, yeah, this is fun. We were dating, but when we got serious with somebody and I started seeing the bond that they were building as women, I started noticing that there was always going to be something that I wasn't going to be in on, and that was that them as women having this certain bond that I'm just not going to connect with on everything. Like, there's certain things that they are connecting on that I just don't relate to. There's certain things as women that they could go off and do that I'm not going to be a part of. And at first, I never really thought about it, so it wasn't really bothering me. But then when it started happening, and I was like, oh shit, like I felt like I was spending less time, because they were bonding more. I was like, damn, like I never thought I was going to feel like jealous or anything like this. And now I'm feeling this shit for real. So it was something, again, we communicated. I don't think I always kept it like, cool. But there was definitely moments, I'm not gonna lie to you, where I was like, what the fuck? Like, am I here? Am I in on this too? Like, what is going on? Am I still a part of this? Let me know. Like, are you venturing to the other side? Because I support you no matter what. Just let me know.
Have you gone from half to full?
If you've gone from half to full, like, where am I in this process?
I like the movies too. Y'all just go. I like to eat, so y'all just gonna go.
All those times I complained about Victoria's Secret, all those times I complained about going into the damn mall. Now I want to go to the mall. It's like, now let me
He's like,
go.
do you guys want some help with your hair and your makeup, or should we?
But yeah, so that was one of the things that I dealt with at the beginning. That was like, okay, this is something new, but it took some time to get used to, should I say?
No,
he
that's fact.
experienced it too. It's like he said, that's something that guys don't like to talk about, but it is a real thing, where we as women sometimes think, oh, he's not gonna feel that jealous, or he's really not gonna feel any jealousy. We're two women. But the fact remains is that guys can't feel that way. Yeah, it's very true.
They were watching The Handmaid's Tale. I ain't never cared for that show. But when they were watching it together, I'm like, damn, y'all ain't want me to watch it with y'all?
No, fact. That is fact. Like that shit used to. I wasn't ready for it. And when they clicked, it was like, oh shit. And they had inside jokes, and I was like, I want to be. What the fuck? What are we? Why is that so funny? Was it about me? What's going on?
Y'all making fun of me?
Right. You guys feel like as men, sometimes it feels different because our partners are really seeing this girl. It's not like they're just going to the mall with their friend. They're going to the
it's
mall
not like a girlfriend. It's a real
wife.
girlfriend.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh shit, you're just going to the mall with your friends, but now you're going with your girl. So it's like, okay, But yeah, I feel it.
Y'all better bring me back something.
Right, bring back a pair of shoes or something, like.
Yo, we had to put a text message rule in place. Man, I remember what that conversation was like. Look, if I text, I mean, if another person was not here, I would get a response. I can't get no response. Am I like forgot about what's going on? Like, that's in play. I want to feel I'm included.
Yeah, that was one of our biggest things. We started like a group messaging and everything, and then we'll see them text. I'll see them texting each other like without the group message. I'm like, oh, okay. I want some sneaky stuff.
Okay. And I can never understand. I'm like, are you serious? We're both, it was always that. Like, I'm like, it's not another guy, but right. I had to learn. It's not about that. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be another guy. It's the love. It's the love effect that a guy can feel that way no matter who his woman is with, whether it's male or female.
Yeah, we got feelings too.
That they're going to feel that way because they're initially it's a man's pride, I feel like, and they have that feel like you've been with me all these years and all this time, and when someone else come in, even though we agreed on this, I'm still going to feel a certain way. It doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It can be a woman. I'm going to still feel this way because it's you.
Facts.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Natasha, I'm going to you after this because coming from an inside point, coming into the relationship, have you ever dealt with moments like you were like, oh shit, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like this is where you had to kind of check yourself or check the situation, the experience of coming into a relationship, and if things got a little hectic, how did you handle those situations?
It's like the weird moments where you're walking into an already established relationship. So as a woman, you already kind of like, let me not step on any toes. Oh, you like it like that? Okay, sorry, didn't mean to touch that. So you're already kind of walking on eggshells a little bit. And so then it's the process of building a bond with the couple, which can be really tricky, especially if it's a couple that's not that experienced. So it's like they're going through their ebbs and flows, but I'm stuck in the middle. So it's like they going at it like, well, I wanted to spend time with not you. And I'm like, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. All right, I'm going. I'm walking out the door. Okay, all right. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is a lot. It is so crazy, the situations that you hear and the experiences that you have just walking into an already established relationship and not knowing exactly how to feel, not knowing if, okay, is she going to be jealous if I kind of lean on him a little bit? And I'm like, is this okay? So it's a lot. It is. There's a lot of women who are poly who can't do it, who they choose to get in a situation where they establish their own relationship and then seek out another person versus, being single and coming into a couple, because it takes a strong mind and a different type of mindset to walk into an already established relationship and trying to insert yourself in your life into an already established life. It gets really, really tricky.
I bet. Have you guys, how do you guys, hearing that, knowing that this is something that someone coming into a relationship experience, like how are things, what are things you guys have in play or that you guys experienced from your previous relationships to make sure those kind of things don't fall upon that person coming in or don't feel uncomfortable? Do you guys kind of have an understanding or a flow to make a person feel included?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like what the couple said. It's nothing. It's communication. That's the biggest thing. That transparency.
It really is, and the FOMO. Everybody's going to experience the fear of missing out, especially somebody coming into the relationship new, because they can come in and we've watched other established couples as well, and so we always pay attention, even with our own experience. We always pay attention to what the woman coming in had to say. And it was always like, you guys have done so many things together. You're so established. Like, how am I going to fit in? What is left for me? Is there going to be so many inside jokes that I do not get between the two of you? And how am I supposed to fit into this? So, of course, for us, we take all that into heed. And it's pretty much when we're trying to get to know someone, we don't want to just come right off with, okay, so here's what it is, like laying it down, because that can scare somebody off, but making them feel really comfortable. You know what I mean? If she wants to laugh and slap his knee, I'm going to be okay with it, depending on where we are within our dynamic. That's why it's an order of things for us. You know, it's dates first, because you don't want to be moving too fast only for things to crash. And we had to learn that the hard way, pretty much. So it's the dates, it's the spending time, like dividing the time until where to get to the stage where we're all just really trying to vibe out. And if she laughs and want to hit his knee or lean on him, I'm not going to get an attitude. If she looks up at me, I'm going to make it my business to not look at her or give her the eye that it's okay. But the reason I say to not look at her, because I don't want this woman to always feel like she needs to look at me when she makes any interaction with him. You know, that's, if you're going to be his girlfriend or you're going to be my girlfriend, you don't always need to check with me. And that's a part of making you feel welcome, to know that we really want you here. We really want this. We really want this to be the three of us, and not just the two of us. Yeah. And the only way you're going to feel that way is by seeing signs and not always having to feel on edge. So that's something.
And not making them feel like a third no more. We stop saying a third. We try to make them feel like an equal.
Absolutely. You know, another person coming in, an equal, not a third, or that term. Yeah. That can easily make a person literally feel like a third wheel. That's what they use when they're calling someone a third wheel. So we don't use that. Absolutely. We don't use that.
Like, nobody wants to feel disposable. And that's like, you don't want to feel like, oh, well, they're just going to play with you. We're going to have fun. They're going to go out on dates with you. We might go out of town. We might do this. And then they're done. And you're going about your business. They still have their relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we've heard people say that, like, oh, because if I'm no longer there, they're okay. Because they still have one another.
Y'all still have each other.
We don't want someone to feel like that coming in. We want you to feel like, there's this movie. It's called Two in the Bush.
Two in the Bush. Yeah.
Two in the Bush. It's a poly movie, and this couple had fell in love with this woman individually. When they wanted to become one with her, but she wasn't ready. So they spent their individual time. And point being, when she started hanging with both of them and their friends would come around, they would make her, the friends, not the couple, but the friends would make her feel like, oh, you just must be, around for a good time. You're just temporary, to where she wanted to stop seeing the couple. And if you guys are going to see it, I don't want to ruin it, but it just basically showed the love that they really had for her, to where she understood after a while, this is not temporary for them. I have to remember, regardless of what people are saying, I have to focus on what they're doing for me or how they feel for me, and not let the outsiders damage what we have. And that's another big issue. But in the end, she got to understand that they had really cared about her, and there was something that they really wanted. They made her feel welcome, So, and that's our thing initially. We want a person to feel like you're a part, because you're a part of it. We're going to, from this point where we're going to grow together, we're going to grow as three. And if you want to walk out and leave, we're going to talk about it. We're going to make sure this is something you want. And we're not just going to let it easily be it. But if we really care about you, you know what I mean? It's not just going to be, okay, yeah, we still got each other, because that's not a correct form of poly for us. That's not how it works. I know that even that can happen in monogamy, where somebody, that pride is like, oh, walk out. I don't give a damn. But that only lasts for so long. If you really care about a person, you're going to fight for them and not make them feel like they was just there for a good time or for the moment or temporary. And that's not what we want. We want somebody to be here with us permanently. That's the initial goal. And that's what we're going to continue to practice, not making them feel any other way but welcome and a part of us.
That is key. That is key. You know, to make it feel welcome and make it feel like equal as much as you can. You know, Sam, do y'all want to actually put in some information how you guys handle that, or y'all want to piggyback on that or anything?
I mean, yeah, I think for us, it's just been, you know, about knowing that it's a brand new relationship that's being formed when we start, you know, seeing somebody, that they're not, you know, adding on to our relationship. We're creating a brand new one when we start with them. And through all of those things, obviously, you know, communication supports that. And most importantly, I think, like Natasha said, you know, it takes also a special type of person who is going to be patient and open-minded and understanding. But I think the way that Sammy and I approach the situation from the jump is just try not to build a ton of expectation of that person, especially the expectation that they have to fall for both of us. I don't feel like that's a fair expectation to put on anybody when we're entering into the relationship, although that is our ideal situation and what we hope for. Right. We enter every situation knowing that it just might be one or the other. And I don't think it's anything that person necessarily is doing to be like sneaky or to try to be, you know, break us up or anything like that. I think it's just that that's the way the vibes go sometimes. And, you know, generally speaking, we feel the vibe right from the beginning and we don't continue seeking that person out. But, you know, with that being said, like I said, the expectations, we keep those very low as well, because it's not fair to expect all of that of someone. It's not polyamorous, you know, ethically. So yeah, that's all to add on to what all the things that they said.
And I agree with what you guys were saying too. It's just like at the beginning for us, we were just so excited to find girls that would date a couple that we would just always hang out together at the beginning. And then we quickly realized that could be a lot for somebody to try to get to know two people at once. Like that's a lot. And we never really thought about it at the beginning because it was just so new for us. But like when we started dating for real and realizing that like for us to really start that new relationship, like you were saying, and I think you guys even mentioned it too, was spending time dating separately that same person. We're all three going to date, and then we're going to make time for just me and her. Mel's going to make time for just her and Mel, and then, you know, just build from there.
And a lot of times our relationship, you know, gets put on pause in some ways. We let our relationship take the back burner. We're comfortable with where we're at. We know where we're at. So we put a lot of focus on that other partner.
I love that.
It happens where I've noticed, I've been in it, where I will like one person in the couple more than the other. Right. And if that happens, I back off because that's not what I want. I want to be attracted to both people. Like this is a relationship between the three of us, not just her and I, and not just him and I. So if there's ever a time where it's like I'm attracted to one more than the other, I cut it. That's
so respected, Natasha, extremely, because that's one of our biggest things, like honesty. To be honest, if you feel that way, then let us know. And if there's no way around it, then okay, we need to figure out how this is not going to work for us. But we've had women, which is why we did say the term where they are sneaky, because there was a situation where we met a young lady, and when we would talk on the phone, she's telling me about everything that's going on in her life and this and that, and oh my God, girl. And don't get me wrong, she liked being on the phone with me, but it was to talk about everything that was going on in her life. And then when she would want to talk to him, once he leave to go make his runs, she was just like, what do you want to see first? You know, let me just show you. Like, and when he told me, and I'm like, well, maybe, you know, I'm trying to make these excuses for her. I'm like, well, maybe, you know, it was just in that moment she felt right to do it. Maybe once you get back around me. So it was the following day, and we were both on the phone, and he was like, so you want to show us something? And she's like, well, I'm all shy. I don't know. I'm too shy right now. And then our daughter came to the room and wanted to speak with me. And when I walked away with my daughter, she was like, so what was it that you wanted to see? You know, so when we use those terms, it's because it's something that we've experienced. It's not that we assume that of everybody. It's based on our experience. We do know that there's genuine people out there who is going to be real with you. We're going to always be real because that's who we are. We just expect the same from you. And we will extremely respect if you like one of us more than the other. And if that is okay in our dynamic at that time, we can figure out something. But if it's not, then we can have that talk. But at least we'll all walk away with respect for one another, because it wasn't anything mischievous trying to be done within the situation. So that's why we say that. But it's back to say to you, Natasha, that's extremely respected. If you know that you like someone more and you know that that's not what they're looking for, that you'll walk away. Because when you decide to settle, if that's not what you're trying to do, like, we don't try to have our expectations just like over ridiculous. That's not the case. But I do find that when you decide to settle in something that you were never comfortable with in the first place, you find yourself being unhappy, and that leads to destruction, and it leads to a failed relationship. And we don't want to go through a lot of failed relationships. We want to find the positive energy, the connection of realness, so that it can be carried on for a future situationship, you know?
A lot of women don't understand that you can be biromantic and not be bisexual. That's two different things. You can enjoy the company of another woman. You can enjoy talking to another woman, but not be sexually attracted to another woman. So if you are a biromantic woman and you're in a relationship with a couple, and the wife in that couple is bisexual and biromantic, you got a problem, because ain't no fucking going on.
Exactly.
So that's the issue.
Exactly.
And that makes a lot of sense, like what you were saying, Toni. I totally I see where you're coming from. I totally see your perspective, and I can relate to some of those instances where I felt like a woman wasn't even really sure they were into women, you know what I mean? So I think that's a totally different, like, to me, that's a whole nother situation. I totally see where you guys are coming from, and I can relate 100%. And it doesn't feel right, you know, it doesn't feel kosher, I think, is the way that it leaves you feeling, is that more so, are you transparent in the same way with each partner, you know? Because in that situation, I feel like I would have felt like that woman wasn't being the same person when they were around two people. Given that every person is different when they're engaging with someone different, you know, and that interaction is different, I can understand that too, because there's definitely been times where I've been in those same shoes, for sure.
Mm-hmm. You know, I love that. That's a different experience. I'd never experienced that. That was great insight right there. Gave me something to run with. I love the jewels. I'm big on jewels. So when y'all drop some stuff for me to take in, I greatly appreciate that.
And I love hearing other perspectives too. I love it.
Me too. We do too. Always open to it. Absolutely.
That's the purpose of the show right here. That's how to connect.
We're so grateful to be with y'all, for real.
Hey, I'm
conversations is not something we get to do very often. So
anyway. Right, hold that.
What Alex loves to say.
That's looking for a single woman actually gets to talk to a single woman and get advice. Like
right. And especially that has experience. Like, you know, a lot of times for us, these the women that we've ended up in relationships with had no prior experience to polyamory. So I think even that would change the game completely, you know, when you're seeing someone who has that experience.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
It just comes with a better understanding, you know, what's going to go on and how things are going to flow. With also that, right? The hierarchy and the veto. I'm gonna ask you too, Natasha. I'll start with you, Natasha, and then I'm gonna ask the couples. How do you feel about that, and have you experienced that, the hierarchical and the veto, the couple's privilege?
I haven't experienced it, but that's because I'm very particular. I kind of ask because I'm not with it. And
you have a veto radar.
Right. I'm like, so how is it going to be if? And then what they I'm out. All right. Nice to meet you. I'm going. Let me put my church finger up, and I'm going to leave out.
Respect.
I don't like that. Like, I understand that, you know, this is of course an established couple. Like, I get it. Y'all are in it for the long haul. I completely understand that. But for my opinion to not feel like it's as valued as the other two people in the relationship, that's completely unfair. I don't like it. I'm not down with it. Now, that's not to say that I'm coming in the gate expecting to be able to have say-so about it. No, that's not realistic. It takes time. And once we've built and established a real relationship, then that's when I expect, you know, my opinions to be as respected as the other two people in the relationship. You don't come, a lot of people have it misconstrued. You can't come up in the relationship, come out the gate like, yeah, so this is what it's going to be. I want hey, hold your horse.
Agreed.
No. It takes time. You have to build a relationship first. And then once that's established, then if I still feel like, you know, things are a little, you know, I'm not feeling like my opinion is being valued, or it's like, oh, well, that's just Natasha. Yeah. So anyway, this is what we're gonna do. Noted.
Agreed. I respect it. Agreed. Yeah.
And now I want to kind of ask you, Toni, Eve, Mel, Sam. I don't know who wants to take that question first. How do you guys, especially because that's one of the biggest things that you hear when I hate the word unicorn because we're not unicorn hunters. That's more of a swinger term.
Of course.
So when a potential or a single individual, whatever they are, looking to join a family or join a couple or is interested in however you want to word it, because I know it gets very technical. And
Right, I know.
I don't even know.
Especially like all these the dynamics.
I feel like I'm playing verbal gymnastics in this motherfucker.
Yes, that part.
All these pronouns now, huh?
All this shit. I'm like, God damn, but you know, if someone's interested in you guys or anything like that, well, or interested in joining couples, the main topic is, well, you know, I dealt with the veto power, couple privilege, you know, hierarchical. How do you guys feel about that? That's represented when people think about couples, like, you know, and that's what makes it hard. Because if you ask a person coming into a relationship, a majority of the time you're gonna hear like, well, it was the couple or it was the first wife. That one's big too. Her emotion, it was a lot to, you know what I mean, take in. She wasn't ready. Like, how do you guys feel about that? That's kind of like the representation when it comes to dating couples.
I think it's. We'll let them take the floor first. We
were waiting on y'all.
Oh, okay. I guess I feel like maybe it's not fair, but it's realistic. I'm gonna be real. It's realistic because it's almost kind of like stereotypes. You know, you have your percentage of people who don't do certain things, but people will still base it off the fact that they see a majority other half do it. It's kind of like that. So I do think it's unfair because that's not the case for every woman. You know, it's not everybody go off couple privileges based on what we've seen already. Not everybody moves in that way. Not everybody moves off hierarchy. We don't move off hierarchy. When someone comes in, it's not going to be, oh, well, I get to do this because I'm first. You know, and even bringing up our before situation with our first girlfriend, it was because it was like what he asked me, you know, and and I know like you're going to go through those scuffles, but I didn't say it to her, and I don't expect to ever say it to someone. Oh, well, because I'm first and it's couples privilege, then I do it and you do. No, I would never do that. It was just simply because, well, he asked me, why don't you do something else kind of thing. We don't ever want a woman to feel that way because it is unfair. And like Natasha said, you have to be a strong-minded woman to come into a relationship with a couple. It's as simple as that. Like, I literally had to put myself in the shoes of a single woman. And I'm just like, yeah, it is a lot. I wouldn't know while we are looking for a single woman, to be realistic, I don't know if it would be something for me I could never do it. You know what I mean? I hate to say never, but just imagine it. It's like, it just seems like a lot. It would seem like too much on me. So I respect any women that is open to coming into it, because not every dynamic is what you would think it's going to be. It's not going to be a hard time. It's not going to be couples privilege. It's not going to be hierarchy. It's not going to be that, you know. So the fact that you're willing to take a risk, that's utmost respect to you. Now that you decided to take this risk with us, allow us to not even take this risk with you, but allow us to show you why you took this risk. Allow us to let you see that it was worth taking this risk. We're not going to show you what you've seen. We're going to show you something different because we move different. You're going to be equal to us. You're going to feel comfortable. You're going to feel loved. We're going to have our individual time and together time. And we're going to make sure that you never feel left out. You know what I mean? So that's what it is for us.
Thanks. We're a dope ass couple and we want to show you that.
Let me drop one real quick. Drop a bomb on it.
Yeah, you know, I love that too. You know, one thing I love about this platform, I'm just going to piggyback because it has a lot to do with this, is that I feel like we did not have this. What we are doing right now, we didn't have this. And I feel like a lot of couples unintentionally go into these situations and not realize that they're doing the couples veto. And
part.
Just because they've been like, we've been together 15 years. Sometimes those situations would happen at the beginning and we wouldn't even know unintentionally. But I will say now that we can all probably relate, when you're doing it right and it's authentic and it feels good and you guys are all falling in love and it's all mutual, there's no couples veto in there because it's all mutually, you're all falling in love together. So that relationship that you guys once had or we once had it's still there with that bond's always going to be there, but it's no longer there with that person. We just created something totally new. So I agree with what you guys were saying. Is it's like the couples veto thing. It's like a real polyamorous couple, they're not going to operate that way, right? But I feel like a lot of people that are young in their polyamorous journey, they might not know that they're unintentionally doing it if that's what the type of polyamory they're practicing.
Okay, so I want to be devil's advocate though, because I feel like, so this is a little peek into our house, but you know, because I think the point should be made that there's nothing negative to be said about hierarchical polyamory, because that is a valid style of polyamory, just like we believe, you know, a polyamorous triad is a valid style of polyamory.
Agreed.
So with that being said, there's separation that we can make here. We can separate unicorn hunters and say that people who are unicorn hunters are more like swingers that don't know it, right? And they're kind of like setting a ton of boundaries, setting a ton of rules, because they might be experimenting on a sexual platform, but really not looking for emotional and intimate bond and connection, right? Then you might say that there's the hierarchical version of a couple who decides they want to be a primary, and then they can bring in a secondary partner because that secondary is on board to be the secondary partner. So maybe there's enough space for all of it, but what the problem becomes is that unicorn hunters are just anything couples that are bad. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's really the case, right? So us having this platform, like you said, separating the difference between them, making sure that we're not shaming people that want to be hierarchical polyamory, because if they are consensual, transparent, and honest about it, then who the fuck are we to say? You know, people think we're weird for doing it our way. You know what I mean? So I think that's where we can help the people who don't, like you said, know, that are unintentionally being that. And then they can say, no, actually, we're swingers and we're not polyamorous. And now you can stop making the polys look, you know, bad.
Making them look
maybe
bad.
I should rewind that. Maybe it's not even bad, because I don't think there's anything bad about swingers. They're sex positive too. So that's great too, right? But maybe we can help everyone find their way to the place that they, you know, need to be in. And we can stop throwing the unicorn hunting term at everybody.
At every couple, right?
Oh, I agree with that 1,000%, because that's how we feel. We don't look at any dynamic or any type of a way that people choose to love. We don't judge it, not one bit. Whether it's swingers, whether it's unicorn hunting, whatever label someone wants to put on them. But something that I will do is I will clarify the difference of what you're saying so that you have a better understanding of what you're doing. But we respect all dynamics. Yeah. Why? Because we want to be respected as a dynamic. We don't want to judge anybody because we don't want to be judged. It's wrong to judge when you don't want to be judged, you know? And we feel strongly on that. It's just not our thing. So for better choice of words, I would say hierarchy is mad respected. Everybody has to do what fits their life. You know what I mean? If I can't fit your shoe, then don't expect me to walk around in it. You know what I mean? I can't fit it. It doesn't fit for me. I respect that you walk around looking nice in those shoes, but don't expect me to walk and look the same way that you do. It doesn't work for me. I have to do what works for me. I have to wear the shoes that I like and that I fit, you know? But I respect you walking around looking good in your pair of shoes at the end of the day, kind of thing. Yeah. So I respect all dynamics. So 1,000% what you said, it's just not our shoes to feel. Our shoes to feel is how we do things, you know?
Yes. That's facts.
Women that are interested in not being a primary partner. There are girls who like to be involved with the couple, but they don't want to cohabitate with a couple. Like, they don't want you to be in any kind of way dependent on them in that way. Like, they like playing a more secondary role in the relationship. There are a lot of women that are like that. So it's so great that this world is so big. Everybody can find exactly what they're looking for, because there's something for everybody.
True. Facts. That's facts. Because I love that it was touched on by Mel about the hierarchy. Because some people, they work on that, and I think it's the importance. This is great, because it's going to lead me into my next and final question. I think it's great that people have to dive in and get the information, because some people have the hierarchy set up within when they have a core and a nesting partners. And if they're dating, if they're an open triad, like shout out Regal Love, they're an open triad.
Regal Love. Yeah, Regal Love.
Nesting partners are the three that stay together, but they have outside partners. But knowing that they work on a hierarchical system, they understand home comes first. No disrespect to the partners out there, but they understand our core and our nesting partners come first. And that's a system that works for them, especially identifying being open, an open triad. Some people are closed. Some people are open. Some people have core partners. They have outside partners. Some people have meteors, that come through every once in a while. That's part of their polycule. So it's very important that I believe people learn this information. And yeah, I get it. Poly how you want, and I support that. But it's good to know how to poly so you poly correct. Have the tools. Right. And it's very important, because one thing I always stress about my journey is I didn't know nothing about poly. Nothing. You could have asked me like 10 years ago what poly was. I would have looked, what are we, roly polies? I don't understand. Like this is different. But once I found out what I was doing, it gave me the ability to do my own research, because there wasn't back then when we started, there wasn't too much information out there. Now these days, open social media, it's you come on. You guys have it on TikTok, taking over and putting that education out there, which is wonderful. You got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got groups. Shout out the panel. Natasha, you got all of us out there, and we're pushing this information out for different dynamics, different perspectives, different insight to get the information that you need, the tools to navigate better through poly. But with that said, right, to my last and final question is, what advice would you give couples coming into this that are new? With our community growing and people being more open-minded to join and try this love style because they feel this is what they're meant to do now that it's so much in the open. What advice would y'all give couples, to look out for things you wish you would have known, at the beginning? And Natasha, what would you give to people coming in trying to join the couples of things you wish you would have known? Kind of just little insights. I don't know who wants to go first.
Can Natasha go first? I would love to hear what she has.
Sure. Okay, so what do I wish that I would have known? I wish that I would have known that there are times that you're going to feel like you're not actually sure what the fuck you're really doing. And there are times that you're going to feel like an outsider. Because there's times like when you're in a group setting, especially, like say you go to a family reunion with a couple, right? They're over there looking at you like you're a prostitute. Or you're the side chick, or like, oh, how much are they paying you to be here? Or oh, don't worry about her, she's nobody. So you have to really be prepared. Know that that's going to happen. Be prepared. Make sure that your couple is prepared, because they might not know that stuff is going to happen to you. We know because we've been there, but they might not know. So let them know that they have to be there to support you in those moments. Also know that you have to be comfortable with who you are as a single woman before you go into a relationship with a couple. Like, know what you're looking for. Don't come whole. I'm an advocate of that. Don't come into a relationship with a whole bunch of holes in you, expecting it to be filled by somebody else. Come whole already. Already know what you want from this relationship. Already have your expectations in line. Be prepared, but be flexible, because your wants, your desires are going to change over time. Just be ready for that. Be open for everything that's going to happen. Have fun. Don't take this shit too seriously. Don't forget to enjoy yourself and just enjoy falling in love. That's the best part of a relationship. In the beginning, because everything's great. Everything's fun in the beginning. So enjoy that time. Like, don't take things too seriously. Don't feel like you just have to come out the gate like, bam, let's get it. All right, we're together. Are we going to do a commitment ceremony tomorrow? Like, what are we doing? Like, no, calm down. Take a minute. Breathe and just enjoy being with your couple, and just be honest, be open, communicate whatever it is that you feel. If you have feelings of jealousy, if you feel a way about anything, if you're uncomfortable, if you feel like you're being asked to be a way that's not you, that's not true to who you are, like, just communicate with your couple. That's important. Be honest with who you are, and be honest with them as well, and have fun.
Well said.
Well said. I feel like my advice to any couples that are interested in polyamory or any of the many other versions of polyamory that we've talked about today, I would say just talk as much as possible with your partner and learn together. Talk, bond, learn together, connect to the community, follow people like the Hobsons, follow people like the Portah family, like Natasha, follow the people who have paved the way, who know that it's working and are committed to the lifestyle, and turn to those people when you're going through rough patches. But just educate yourself, arm yourself with education as much as you can, so you know as much as you can when you're heading into unknown territory.
Absolutely. Follow you guys as well.
Right.
Yeah, pursue the poly.
You're part of
Yes.
the growth.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
I guess our advice would be, I think the biggest piece of advice is to be open-minded. Be open-minded, because when you're born as a child, you have no knowledge or no idea of what you're going to learn. And to me, I've always viewed that as being open-minded. You're open to learn whatever is going to be dashed out to you, because you don't know. You don't have a clue. You're open-minded to learn. Be open-minded. Don't be so quick to judge.
Communication, being transparency and everything. That brings so much security when you if I let everything know and what's ever in my head and everything.
Being able to say what you need to say, especially when you're trying to be in a dynamic that involves more than just the two people. Sometimes it's easy for a person to walk away from their relationship. Chances are they know they're going to come back. But when you're with, it's three of you guys, no matter what type of dynamic it is, it's always important to say what you feel. You know what I mean? Because now it's like a man would say, it's hard trying to figure out what it is she wants or what she's thinking, and she won't tell me. She expect me to know. Can you imagine being in a dynamic where, especially if it's one man and two women, and you're trying to figure out what both of these women want? You have no idea. Or a woman's trying to figure out what this other woman wants. She may have a better idea than this man, but not the full idea, because we're all still trying to get to relearn the dynamic that we're in now. Be very communicative, be transparent, be open-minded, be ready to love. Don't be ready to give up so easily. I think that's some of the best things. Be ready to grow. Be ready to, to care for this person that you're going to bring into your life, and not be so quick to walk out.
Facts. Be ready to have those hard conversations.
That's
what it is. At the end of the day, create those safe spaces and have those hard conversations, because everybody is in this relationship learning to unlearn, to relearn a new love style. You know what I mean? We're gonna unlearn and relearn our partner. We're not unlearn our partner. We're gonna know our partner. But we're gonna be relearning, like, shit, I didn't know you like that. Well, we've been together for so long. This person pulled this out of me. Nothing against you, but it's gonna be a process. So I love all that. Remember that, keep that in mind. And also, not only that the couples are gonna be relearning each other in this process as they find things about themselves that they might be interested that never came across. Also, the individual coming in has two individuals to learn themselves. Mm-hmm. It's challenging for everybody, and one is not above the other. It's going to be a process. I love all the jewels y'all just dropped right there, because it's from so many different perspectives. I love it. I love it, from the couples to the women coming in, the person coming in. I love it. With that being said, I want to thank you guys again. And I love how you said it, Mel. There is a lot of education out there. Hops in Love on TikTok. Make sure you tap in. They're dropping those jewels. We got Pursuit of. Now, I don't know if you guys seen this. They dance, and as they're dancing and doing the little moves, they're dropping the education and put it out there. So it fucked me up. I'm like, yo, I had to pause it a couple of times because I read slow. I'm like, hold on. I'm old. I had to squint and shit. I'm like,
I get in our DMs still is somebody saying, can you put this somewhere where I can read it, because I have to go back and watch it too many times. But they call it dance-splaining. That's what our commenters have said. This is dance-splaining. We've been dance-splaining the poly terms.
I love it. I keep doing, you guys, Hops in Love, Pursuit of Poly, keep doing that, because it's shit like that we need. It makes it fun and education. The two things that are actually together, that's very beautiful. And you guys are doing y'all's things on there. And you know what I mean? I'll be laughing at Hops in Love doing the little goddamn skits. I ain't like these. It'd be dope. It's fun. It's fun to see. And it's really things that, it's creativity behind putting the education there, especially about poly, because we don't know about it. A lot of people are still very green to it. So it's great to have that information out there. And then we got, Portah family and Natasha. We're doing everything with the panel, pushing out and trying to help everybody be on a new one platform, get everybody's information out there. We're trying to bring the community together and make sure the education that needs to be there for those people is there for those people. So we really appreciate you guys, because without you guys, we really have nothing to push out. So thank you guys so much for joining and tapping in with me. I don't know if you want to drop some links. I don't know if you guys want to drop some names, where you can be found. If there's anything else that I missed out, websites, please do a little outro.
You said it. We're Hops in Love. You can find us on TikTok.
You can type us in anywhere.
Type type us in anywhere and we will come up. We're Hops and Love, whether it's YouTube, it's TikTok, it's Instagram. Even if you were to type in politicking, where that's really trending on TikTok. And
right, we gotta get that copyrighted.
Seriously. Yeah. Hops and Love. You can find us anywhere on different platforms. So yeah.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.
Mel, Sam, y'all want to drop some links, anything I left out?
Yes, please. First of all, I just want to say thank you to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Like Sammy said, watching people like you guys being out on your platforms and living in your truth is what inspired us to come out and live our truth. Sure, so I feel like the representation and the visibility that we're building is like so just like I just feel like I'm in exactly the right place at the right time. So thank you guys so much for allowing us to be inspired by you, and follow us at Pursuit of Poly on every platform, pursuitofpoly.com. Subscribe, like, all the things.
Yeah, collab. We doing a collab skip soon.
Definitely.
Oh, that's a
must. It's already there. We already manifested.
Yeah, definitely do that. And y'all didn't let them know there is episode 1 on YouTube talking Poly. I do believe that I might have said the title of it wrong. Don't you guys got that on YouTube?
Is that us?
Mel and Sam.
Yeah, we have a Pursuit of Poly TV. We dropped our first YouTube. Yes.
Yeah, I seen that right there. Y'all too. Y'all started doing the YouTube on the thing too.
Yeah,
Send me that. I need everybody's information. Make sure and anything I could do. Oh, hold on. I'm edit this portion out. Let me let Natasha go.
All right. Thank you so much for having me again. That's always a good time. So you can follow me on Instagram at it's Natasha 2U, and also follow my business page, Millennial Mixes. And if you're in Baton Rouge, come by and see me at Jack's Classic Corner. Come have a good time. We're opening up this Friday, so come and have drinks on me. How about that? I got you.
Okay. Right.
That's all you needed to say to me. If y'all don't know, that is the 2020 Best Dressed Polypalooza winner right there. Shut the whole shit down. You know what I mean? Y'all better check the resume. Google me.
Thanks.
Definitely appreciate you guys joining, dropping so many jewels tonight. You know what I mean? I'm very thankful. Y'all really just, y'all could have really been doing anything, but y'all was like, yo, he hit me up. Let me just join us. I'm very, very thankful. With that being said, I'm going to tap out and then close the night.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
That was great, guys.